Hey folks, I am your race director, Steve Adderholt. Welcome to another Cocodona info session. We want to talk a little bit about the big course changes that have happened to the 125 and the 38 mile distances. But first, we want to bring on Sarah O, who is a Cocodona veteran, and we're going to talk about her nutrition strategies and how she uses Spring Energy during races. Sarah, hey, how are you?
Hi, morning. I'm doing well.
Good. It's good to see you. Sarah, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Sarah Ostaszewski. I'm a twin. Many people, I think, racing Cocodona or have done Cocodona might have met us or known us from the previous years at Cocodona. We do a lot of the same running. So yeah, I'm a twin. I'm from the Chicago area, lived in Portland for a bit, but now I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm a long distance runner.
Sweet, cool. Yeah, and right before we started recording, you said you're running the Moab 240 and other races this year, but Moab 240. So going after another 200.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mixing it up. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What's your goal out there this year?
At Moab.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I'd like to, look at I paced and crewed Sally McRae this past fall, and it was really inspiring to see her kind of do the Grand Slam of 200s and end with Moab 240 and have a really strong race. So yeah, I'll be looking at Sally's time and previous times on the course to to have a good performance there.
Oh, sweet. Looking at Sally's time. Okay. We thanks for alluding to that goal. That's great. Well, okay. So going back to past years, Cocodona, you've run Cocodona with us all 3 years. The past 3 years, those years you took fifth, third, and then first. Why 3 years in a row? Were you chasing that podium spot? Were you just trying to have your perfect race? Why three in a row?
Yeah, the first year it was just for fun. I had zero expectations, and it turned out well. To get fifth and have sub 100 hours, which sounds pretty cool. Yeah, no expectations that first year. I was just out there for a complete adventure. And back then, I was living in Portland, like didn't live in Arizona at the time, so training was totally different. It just turned out so well that I ended up moving to Flagstaff and coming back for a second year. And I mean, the course was different. I would say year two, the course was faster with that start in Prescott. But I think the second year, seeing Annie and some of the other competitors, I'm like, I think I could put this together and maybe get higher on the podium. So,
And you did. Congrats. You set the course
yeah,
record.
yeah, I had to come back for the third year and see if I could pull it off.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're going to miss you this year, but we loved seeing you out there the past 3 years. And I'm sure if the folks that discover Flagstaff saw that you moved to Flagstaff because of the race, they would be super happy. So, yeah, that's great. Which was your favorite of the 3 years at
I've
Cocodona?
got to say 2023 last year was my favorite. I like them all different experiences, but I think
Sure.
it was just nice to have the crew that I had, and they were so stoked on my goals. I think that's a big part if you're going to have crew or pacers, they have to want the same goal as much as you do or more. So yeah, I had a good team out there, and I enjoyed it, but I'm really happy that I did what I wanted to do and pulled off the win in a pretty good time. Still
Yeah.
surprising to me, but
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool. What was the lesson, if you could pick out a lesson that you've learned
I
over
think
three
that
Cocodonas?
yeah, I think that, and this goes to all my races. I think back to something someone said to me on the first year I ran Cocodona. Keith Munch, who used to live in Phoenix, he lives in Colorado now, but he was like a stranger then, hopped in to pace me, ran 14 or so miles, and had all these stories. And he said, I was getting a little frustrated at that point in the race. We were a little past that, I guess, coming into Fort Tuthill that first year. And he said something like, you still have some work to do. You got to savor these miles because you're not going to get them again. I came back to Cocodona, but yeah, all three experiences have been different. And that goes for any race. You can do a race again, but it's not going to be the same experience. So you have to enjoy what it is in the moment right now. So staying present. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's what our lives, our perspective on our lives Seems sometimes like it's long, but they are so short. And
Yeah.
races are too. And so, yeah, enjoy it. That's awesome. I love it. Okay. You're a Spring Energy athlete now. What does that mean?
really, really happy to be part of the team. I've been using Spring for a while now, and it was kind of a game changer when I like started like consistently getting awesome sauce to use not only during training but during races. It's just so easy to have Spring in your pack, or your crew can like easily swap that out and add more gels to your pack. And it's a lot of calories, especially like awesome sauce in particular. It's just easy to eat, always tastes good. Yeah,
So good. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've gotten better with nutrition over the years by just eating more. More calories is always helpful, but I think Spring has been like the one thing where it's like I can always rely on it. And I can always like get it down during races and get those calories in.
Yeah, I think that's a big advantage for Spring is it's such real food, and it tastes so good that, yeah. Sweet. Oh, well, that's great. Yeah, and having unlimited supply of Spring Energy sounds like a great thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so speaking, you hit on calories. What is your plan for a race like Cocodona? What's your plan for calories? Is it based on time, distance, whatever you can handle? What do you do for that plan?
Yeah, time. So many calories every hour. And I think that like your mind goes all sorts of places, especially in a multi-day race. So I think keeping it within like an hour, how many calories can I get each hour, and trying to stay on top of that, I think has been the best approach for me. I've actually, for a couple runs this year for training, I've added up like the total number of calories I've eaten. But yeah, during a race, it's trying to stay on top of calories per hour. So maybe that's like, I mean, if you can get 300, 400 calories an hour, that's sometimes a little tough, but a couple of spring gels does the job.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That is a lot of calories an hour. My plan usually is much fewer than that on the trail, but then I guess I like load up on a big meal at every aid station I can. So I probably tip the scales even more than that, but yeah, that's cool. I love that your cat is up there running back and forth. It's so great. We're going to be talking about.
Luckily the puppy's like taking a nap right now. So
yeah, cool. Well, we're going to talk about a couple of other cute animals a little bit later in this session. So it's awesome to be able to watch your cat run back and forth. So let's talk about how you get those calories physically on your pack. Are you relying on your crew and pacers to restock that? Or are you relying on drop bags? How do you do that?
Yeah, for Cocodona, I mean, I've been lucky to have crew, but they don't go to somewhere like Crown King. So like I do have drop bags. And then I did have drop bags along the course just in case. But I think it's nice to grab stuff from the aid station. Obviously, Spring is super easy to keep in your pack if you have that. And then crew, I like to have a Ziploc with some nutrition. And it can just swap it out. You know, like get rid of your trash from your pack. You take the new bag of nutrition, and it's all just ready to go to put in your pack.
Smart. Yeah. Okay, so you like have you'll have like a Munns Park Ziploc of nutrition. And you're not like, I need 3 gels and a bar. You're not thinking about it. You're just like, take what they give you, and that's a good trick. So your crew doesn't go up to Crown King. Is that just because it's a long drive and a hassle and crowded, and you just like get to you that first night and not have to worry about the whole day?
Yeah, long drive, a lot of time for the crew to drive up there and then drive back. I think that's just how I've thought of it. I'm like, I'll see you at Friendly Pines or Whiskey Row and kind of like have that first day to myself. And then I can look forward to seeing, like, I think, yeah, all 3 years I've looked forward to seeing them in the evening. I can just, look forward to that all day and run my own stretch before I get in with crew.
That's great. Yeah, that would be great if anybody who's watching this would take that lesson too. Parking in Crown King is a real stretch for us. So
And the drop bag situation is great at Crown King for people like wondering. It is very easy to have a drop bag there. I think this year with some course changes, like get all the gear and the food you need at Crown King before you make your way out of there. Last year there were some creeks and stuff out like past Crown King to filter, but yeah, if you don't have crew there, it's not a huge deal. Just make sure you have everything you need in that drop bag.
Yeah. Okay. Smart. Yep. Yeah. There. You're right. There are a couple of creeks. I mean, the main one is really close to Arastra Creek aid station. But anyways, now we're getting into minutia. But yeah, sweet. That's great. And also at Crown King, we're going to be having not only the pulled pork sandwiches and the veggie burgers, but we'll also have a special treat. Speaking of, Spring will be there serving up cold smoothies, and on a hot day, that's great. Will you be up there helping serve smoothies?
That would be nice. If I could maybe hitch a ride, I could be up there, but I'm pacing a friend, Joe Corcione, and I imagine, like, it'd be great to see him there. I imagine he's going to be fast, knowing how he likes to race. So we'll see if timing works out. I have to, like, pick him up at Whiskey Row. So if I can somehow figure out a ride, but. Cool.
Okay. Well, it would be great to see you up there. In addition to awesome sauce, which that's awesome that's your favorite. That's mine too. What's your real food go-to during a race like Cocodona?
Probably pizza. I think it's nice that Whiskey Row has had pizza in the past. Pizza is always good because it's some protein and carbs. Potatoes in any form is always good. What else? And then any kind of fruit, I guess I would say. This last year at Cocodona, I actually ended up relying on awesome sauce more than anything else. But yeah, pizza, pasta, potatoes. Oh, scrambled eggs is a good one too. If you can find like even hard-boiled eggs, I've seen at different races for some protein that's easy to get down.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like the simple foods work for you.
Simple.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, and we will have Spring Energy out on the course at aid stations this year at kind of the more major aid stations. 10 of the 21 aid stations that will be out there this year will have Spring Energy, so that's great. What's your? I mean, it sounds like you love awesome sauce. What's your treat though? Do you have a treat that you will reward yourself food-wise during a race?
I tend to keep it simple. I don't know if I consistently have a treat. Last year at Cocodona, Satisfy had the Fain Ranch and aid station with some unique options, and they had some smoked salmon. Smoked salmon is always fun if I see it along the course. Brownies are pretty good, and then also like thinking back to the first year of Cocodona, Walnut Canyon aid station. My sister and I came in, and then the aid station crew was like, we can make you a premium mocha. Like we have coffee and hot chocolate that we can put together. So a mocha was really nice too.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So I hope everybody is getting stoked because like Frappuccino, mochas, smoked salmon, like that's pretty premium choices for food there. So that's awesome. Well, cool. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little bit of information that for the runners. We'll look forward to seeing you out there pacing Joe, I guess. And yeah, thanks so much for coming out and setting that course record and running with us for 3 years. And thanks for joining.
Thanks so much for having me. Good luck to all the runners. Yeah, I'm excited to be out there in a different capacity this year. It's going to be good.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Thanks again, Sarah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Sweet. Good individual, Sarah. Awesome runner and course record holder at Cocodona. We'll see if her course record sticks around this year. Okay, now we got some talking to do about the 125 distance, the Sedona Canyons distance, and the Eldon Crest distance. I guess I got to first start by saying no one is more upset, trust me, than me about these changes. We worked really hard to try for these changes to not be put in place, but anyways, so today we're going to tell you a little bit about those changes. So if you feel the need to send me an email expressing your frustration, please go outside, enjoy the beauty of nature, spend some time with people you love, realize that life is short, and then don't send me that email. Another thing to note is that we're not always able to share all the information about a situation and maintain good graces and working relationships with the groups we need to for the future, so we have to walk the line on what information we can share. Sorry that the email that was sent out was short and to the point. I should have said that we're going to be given more information about this situation here in this info session, but yeah, sorry for that, and now here we are. Okay, so here's the information that we can give you. There are 4 threatened and endangered species along the Cocodona course. I've been putting on races for over 15 years, and it seems like every year there's more and more threatened and endangered species along courses that you have to deal with, which is kind of a sad situation of our current world, but that's the way it is. We're going to talk about 2 of those species here because those 2 are what has affected the 125 and 38 mile courses. Those 2 species are the Arizona cliff rose plant and the Mexican spotted owl. The bottom line is that these changes were made because these 2 species are facing extinction. Our species, the wonderful humans, have been wiping other species off the planet for 250,000 years. So, it's good for us to put a little bit of effort into stopping that devastation. Altering a running race course when you put it through that lens, hopefully is a little bit less of a disappointment when you think about it that way. Okay, the crux. There was a review of the Cocodona's impact on these species that was done in the past. A course capacity limit for number of runners was set. That course capacity limit was shared with us this year, well after we had gone over that cap. And so that's what we're dealing with. Since then, we have been working very hard to come up with the best solution so that we were able to still put on the race. I would like to say that the Forest Service, every official I've worked with through this process at the Forest Service, although I haven't always agreed with their viewpoint, they have been open and hardworking towards a solution, and I am so thankful. We went back and forth over so many different possible solutions, and they could have stopped working with us at any time and just said, hey, we're too busy to keep going back and forth on this. But they didn't do that. They kept working with us through it to find a good solution, and I am so thankful for that. Please trust me when I say that although this was the final iteration that we ended up with, it's not the only one. We worked every angle that we possibly could. So rest easy and know that this is the best possible solution you could get to experience the course. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details of it. Okay. The Arizona cliff rose plant. It is listed as an endangered species, level G2, imperiled. Here's a picture of the flowering plant and the non-flowering plant. It exists only in Arizona and only in a very few places. You got up on the screen where those places are. This one up kind of in the Cottonwood area is right where we run through on the course. We drop down from Jerome into Clarkdale, go through Dead Horse Aid Station, and then right through the largest population of endangered Arizona cliff rose in the world. Unfortunately, the Fish and Wildlife Service says that habitat destruction for the Arizona cliff rose is imminent. The mitigation measures that they're looking into doing is putting cages around these plants and then putting drip irrigation to the plants. The main thing that's threatening these plants is habitat devastation and too many people on the earth, and also changing of the climate, so the drying of the soil. So anyways, that's the Arizona cliff rose, and where we run through where it is on the course. Okay, that's Arizona cliff rose. The next is the Mexican spotted owl. It's got to be one of the cutest animals I've ever seen. It's listed as a threatened species. Its range is all the way from central Mexico all the way through the southern Rockies. One thing I love about this little critter is that they are monogamous. They generally mate for life. In Arizona, their breeding begins in March. The females lay 2 to 4 eggs in late March or early April, and the eggs hatch in early May, and the fledglings leave their nest about a month later. So these cute Mexican spotted owls are on the course in numerous places. The nesting locations are identified by the Forest Service, and they're right through where we run, and those fledglings are hatching right when we're coming through. So that's why we are dealing with, and then now let's have a look at the actual locations and why we had to move things around. Okay, so this is the full course here. That's a 250 in red, and the 125 and 38 are shown in blue. So the 125 mile distance starts in in Jerome. Quickly joins the 250 course, and then they at mile 10 for the 125 distance, they hit Dead Horse State Park. So the 250 distance used to run on Limekiln straight through here. The first year we ran on Limekiln Trail straight through. This section of Limekiln Trail, there's a lot of those rocky outcropping of limestone formations. That is really what the cliff rose likes to grow in the most. There's a heavy concentration of cliff rose kind of in this area. We were asked to divert the 250 course up and around onto Raptor and Thumper trails. So we did that, added some miles to the course. And so we had to cut, unfortunately, single track later in the course. But the reason we did that is because of the cliff rose. The 125 mile course will have to bypass this because of the cliff rose and the potential impact that our runners might have on the cliff rose. So the 125 mile distance after leaving Dead Horse is going to leave the aid station with the 250 runners, quickly split off in the state park, run through, and this is a great little section through here right along the Verde River. Very beautiful riparian area through the desert. And then we'll jump on some city streets through Cottonwood, run out on Mingus Avenue, past the Cliff Rose Trailhead, and then jump on to Highway 89A. This is a higher speed road, but there's a big shoulder, so that's good that we've got a big shoulder for you guys. And then at Bill Gray Road, this mouse is not liking me. We're going to jump onto Bill Gray Road, head north, and jump back on to the single track at Limekiln and join back with the 250 runners. So that is the course deviation. It's about 6.5 miles difference from the 250 for the 125 runners. And that's at about mile 10 through 16. Okay, the next thing that is different about that course, and let me click on a button so that it brings it up a little bit better. You're seeing, okay, there we go. So the Schnebly Hill aid station for the 125 distance is about mile 55. There is a fairly heavy population of multiple nesting pairs of Mexican spotted owls through the Kasner Park, the Munns Park, the Schnebly Hill area right through here. And I mean, I could go through each location, but there are a number of owls that have that nest right along the course. For the 250-mile distance, we're allowed to put that many runners through the course, but we were not allowed to put any more than that for fear of impact for the owls. So we're going to jump in at Schnebly Hill to a shuttle. It's a 9-minute drive to get to the Munns Park area. We're going to have a continuously operating 2 15-passenger vans just running loops for the 125-mile distance. You can also jump in with your crew and have them take you up to Munns Park. You'll have to check in with the aid station captain at Schnebly Hill when you are ready to leave. It's just like you do in many other running races. When you're going to leave an aid station, you check out with the aid station captain. They will record the time and your bib number, and then you can either get into a crew vehicle to get shuttled up to Munns Park, or you can get into our shuttle van and go up to Munns Park. We're going to record that time for you and stop your race clock at that point. Then you can, head on up, go up to Munns Park, and where we will start your race clock again. So we're going through a lot of effort to record this travel time. That's what we're catching here, is your transportation time. We don't want you to come into Schnebly, check out, get a bunch of aid from your crew, take an hour and a half to get to Munns Park. That is against what we're going for here. So it's really only the shuttle time. More information about that will be coming out with as the race gets closer, and in the runner guide you can find more information. Okay, because of that cut of the course and the cut that happens up and over Mount Eldon, we had to make up some mileage. So in the Kelly Canyon area, we're jumping on the Kelly Canyon trails. These are great, kind of mostly flat, a little bit of rolling single track through here between Munns Park and Kelly Canyon. The 250-mile distance sticks on these logging roads. They have been cleared of the trees that were downed last year. So that should be straight through with no jumping over down trees for the 250 distance. For the 125 distance, like I said, great single track. It alternates from super rocky, great Arizona single track to kind of plush, really runnable, good single track through Kelly Canyon. So you have a much further distance between Munns Park and Kelly Canyon. Gosh, I hate this mouse. Than the 250-mile distance. Okay, then trying to make up more mileage for the 125-mile distance. Right as you get into Fort Tuthill, the 250 distance comes straight in. The 125 distance is going to do a left turn to go out a forest road and come back on. Man, this is some really sweet single track. Every time I've been out in this area, I've seen elk. Hopefully you'll get to see some elk in this area as well. Anyways, this is a great section of single track, and then right back into Fort Tuthill. Again, had to make up some mileage through there. So that's what that course change was for. Okay, and then through Walnut Canyon. So Walnut Canyon is a really sweet and spectacular area. Walnut Creek has made this beautiful canyon through here. The 250 distance runs right along the rim of that canyon. There are numerous Mexican spotted owl pairs that mate and nest all through here. And so we needed to stay away from those spotted owls. The course capacity limit that was set that was determined will not impact these mating pairs of Mexican spotted owls is what we're putting past those mating pairs of Mexican spotted owls along the rim. The 125 and the 38-mile distance that starts at Fort Tuthill, it has to stay away from that rim. So we're going to be, coming on to, this is the Futz Trail through here. We're jumping onto the AZT right here, up onto the Rio de Flag Trail, back onto the Futz Trail, and here. So great single track coming through. You're just outside of the city into a little bit of residential area here, and then back onto forest roads to jump back. And right before the Walnut Canyon aid station jump back onto the course with the 250-mile distance. So, we'd love to give you Walnut Canyon. You're going to have to come back and run with us again another year to get Walnut Canyon, but great single track that you're going to be running through there. So that is the next section of difference for the 125 and 38-mile distance. Okay, the last area where we are encountering Mexican spotted owls is right in here. And they go all the way back behind Mount Eldon. Also, we looked at an option that takes us around Mount Eldon for the 125 and 38, but that was not an option either because of those cute little owls. So the 250 distance climbs up. This is a very steep and big steps to get up Mount Eldon. It is a awesome last little section of the course. We are more bummed than you can know about having to cut out Mount Eldon from the end of the 38 and the 125 distance. The 250 will go up there, have that aid station up top. If you're a 250 runner, it is, and you're going through at night, it is so cold up there. So be prepared. That's why we have the required gear going up and over Eldon. The 250 does go over, like I said, the 125 and the 38 does a little bypass. So we're going to take a right turn here to go into the Sandy Seep trailhead for the 125 and 38-mile distance. We're going to have a new aid station that we're putting up there for you. Then you're going to run out. This is all really good single track along the base of Mount Eldon. Rejoin very briefly the 250-mile distance. All of these junctions and splits with the 250 where the 125 and 38-mile distance split from the standard course will be marked very well. We'll have, Sedona Canyons, Eldon Crest, Cocodona, named direction and arrows at these locations. Continue on that single track all the way around to the front side of Mount Eldon. We're working on getting a water station in this area here. Mainly for the 38-mile distance, because that was kind of the distances that were advertised for the distance between water stations and aid stations. So working on that, and then again, great single track all the way through until you meet back with the 250, and then on into Buffalo Park and Flagstaff and Heritage Square and the finish line. The other question that I've been getting is, now that the 125 and 38-mile distances are not going up and over Eldon, but rather kind of along the base around, will those runners still be required to have the required gear? And the answer is yes. For now, at night, it's still very cold up on the rim. All along the Coconino Plateau and the Coconino Forest from after your climb out of Sedona to the finish line at night, it does get very cold. And if you stopped moving, we want you to have that cold weather gear. Now, granted, you're not going up at the top of Mount Eldon, so we may look at taking back the heaviest of those layers, but more information on that will be coming out. So thanks for bearing with us through this course change. Again, nobody was more disappointed than I was, and we worked hard not to have to do it, but I think we have a good solution that came out of it. If you have any questions, email me or text me. I'm happy to answer any questions. But thank you also, I want to say, for all of the support that was shown for Aravaipa and me, myself, through this change. I appreciate that. Again, really sorry that we're in this situation, but it's going to be a great course anyways. So yeah, thanks for joining us on another Cocodona info session. You guys, good luck on your last 5 weeks of training and then your welcomed taper, and we will see you in 5 weeks on the course. Take care and happy running.